Hi friends. If you click to check out another demo video using the Natasha Denona Glam eyeshadow palette, then please keep on watching. Hi, I'm Alicia. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for clicking on my video. And if you are returning, well, thank you for visiting me again. Kinkysweat stands for my kinky hair and sweat life. I'm a fitness professional who loves things all movement and beauty. If you want to check out what I do in between the makeups, you can head over to my Instagram. I already have a full cinematic length live video going into the Glam palette. We did live swatches. We talked about, you know, the transition and the crease shade. This video is just going to go over the basic product details and do 4 more looks. That's all I'm going to do. If you want more articulated thoughts about the palette, you're more than welcome to check out the live, which has the chapters on the timeline, so you could click on whatever portion of the video you wish to see. I wanted to dive back in again in order to film in front of afternoon light. My live was filmed during early evening light. It could be a little funny, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to come back when it was a little brighter, do the swatches again, and do different combinations from the ones I did in my live. And you know how I am with 15 pan palettes, especially with Natasha Denona palettes. I might just do 4 videos on it. I don't know if you know, but I did that with the bronze palette. If this is your first time encountering a Natasha Denona palette, well, welcome to Natasha Denona land. She is a higher end brand and she is mostly known for her 28 pan palettes, the ones that like almost broke the internet when Nikki Tutorials showed them for the first time on her channel. And then she had continued with her 15 pan formats. This is the Lila palette, which is one of my all-time faves. And she introduced her new size with Sunrise back in June of 2019. Everyone was thrilled. It was a lower price point, but felt the Natasha Denona quality was still there and gave those an opportunity who wanted to try ND, but they were like, it's not my budget. The makeup looks beautiful. With this smaller size, they're able to now maybe grasp $65 versus $128, which is what her originally size eyeshadow palettes retail for. She followed up with her Love palette, which is full of pinks, purples, and reds, a palette that not many liked, but I like very much. Then probably now my favorite palette, the Bronze palette, came out a couple of months back. This is probably, in addition to Lila, one of my most favorite palette. The Glam concept, however, was introduced with her Mini Glam that was released back in December of 2019. These were cooler tone shadows, and then she came down with her 15 pan Glam palette. So this is an extended version of what you just saw from the mini. If you wanted to quickly check those out together, I would say that this is a little more neutral than what you find here. Initially, upon the first glance of the photos, people thought this was quite cool tone, but I remember every time Natasha released a palette, people expressed that it wasn't cool tone enough, right? That they wish she had come out with the cool tone palette. When she released Biebs was, you know, rusts and mustards and these like very beautifully unique red shades that had like, they weren't warm red, they were like a cooler maroon red. She had this row down here that was the cool row, you know, for her neutral palette, but people are like, that's not enough. So she came out with the Glam palette, and now we have 5 mattes and 10 metallics. I think this probably, is it? Almost. Lila has 4 mattes, which leaves us with 11 metallics. Glam has the 5 mattes and 10 metallics. So if you are a metallic fiend, you're gonna have a ball. $65 for 15 shades. The total net weight is 19.25 grams. That equals to around 1.28 grams of product per pan. The frame is magnetic, so you can rearrange the colors however you want, and that is indicated by the pinholes in the back. Plastic design, and the front has a beautiful metallic finish, and the back is more, hello dirty, the back is more of a matte finish. And again, of course, you got the Glam title here on the front. Suggested shelf life of 24 months, paraben free, not tested on animals, and of course is made in Italy. There are no duplicate shades in here. These are all new shades, and as far as I'm concerned, from what I've seen, it is not limited edition, so this is permanent to her line. And this palette is currently sold at natashadenona.com, sephora.com. Beautylish, I believe, is coming in like a week or so. I'll put the date up next to me if you want to know. And one of our squad members, Cece, was so kind enough to let me know that Natasha Denona actually on her website has the shade descriptions. I failed to realize that during my live, so we'll do the swatches again. The ultimate user-friendly must-have palette for makeup artists and makeup lovers, featuring 15 cool and neutral warm shades with matte, metallic, and sparkling finishes. For the first time, presenting special insider makeup tips from Natasha Denona herself by naming the shade names after their ideal place to apply them in order to create the Natasha Denona's Day to Glam makeup looks. I'll just quickly say this. If you have Natasha Denona palettes, you already know that she has a matrix system in place that I actually appreciated and had often mentioned in my other Natasha Denona videos, that whatever column, row, quad, trio, duo you encounter is a look. And that's the genius behind Natasha Denona color creations. Not only that, but the tones that she chooses. So when you see a palette, everything's arranged in a way that's easy for you to use. Again, you can combine these textures and colors in numerous ways and get a beautiful look. She decided to take it a step further and name the colors as instructions. In my opinion, I didn't think it was necessary to name the names as instructions. I thought her matrix system was user-friendly and quite accessible, and it definitely allowed room to be creative, to allow you to jump around however you wanted. Even so, don't feel like you have to use the crease on the crease, the outer lid on the outer lid. You use the shades however you see fit, and if you want to move them around, great. If you don't want to move them around, great. If you want to skip over this palette because it's too cool tone for you, it's triggering to you, whatever, great. We'll move on to the next one, and hopefully whatever she comes out with, because you know she will, that's just how it is, we'll see if we like that one better, okay? First up is a metallic shade, and that's a dusty light rose. Metallic shade number 2 is a medium warm gray. Metallic crystal shade is a peachy champagne. Creamy matte, a medium cool taupe. Creamy matte number 2, a mushroom gray. Creamy matte number 3 is a medium cool brown. Creamy matte number 4, a cool sienna. And our last creamy matte number 5, a deep cool brown. Metallic shade number 4, an abalone shade. Ooh. Metallic number 5, a medium warm silver. Metallic number 6, golden nude. Metallic number 7, pecan brown. Metallic number 8, light nude. Metallic number 9, a medium cool gray brown. And metallic number 10 is a neutral champagne. So here are all the shades from the Glam palette. I'm happy I did these swatches again. I think you can see them a lot better here in this light. And since I tried this palette already in my live, I really love the textures all around. I appreciate how the metallics I feel in this palette are her more traditional metallic smooth textures that you can use to buff into your crease, not only on your lid. That's what I find that exists in Leela, as well as her original 28 pan palettes. Some of her other palettes have like crystalline textures that do have a little bit of, you know, zhuzh to them. These I feel are very smooth, very easy to apply on the lid, no matter where, whether lid, outer lid, inner lid, center lid. So let's get into it. And with that said, why don't you come in a little closer? That's enough. Priming, of course, with my Hourglass Veil. Tapping that on the lid. What did I do in my live? I forgot. Taking the medium cool brown, I think, pulling that across the lid. This is a very interesting shade. Although it reads gray, you can still detect that there is like a brown tint to it. Turning the brush on its side to now buff that into the crease. And you see what I'm saying? You don't even need a matte with these metallic shades. I'm very happy she decided to stick with this formula for the majority of the metallic, taking the mushroom gray and buff that just so we could get a little smoother. Also wanted to see how that matte looked with this metallic, and they blend very nicely together. It creates a really beautiful gradient of color. Taking the brownie silver now with my, oh, by the way, these are all refer brushes because I'm lazy with my description box. I just want to copy paste pretty much most of what I used in my live description box to this description box. I'm so sorry. Pulling that across the lower lash line. Taking the mushroom gray shade also on the lower lash line, buffing that metallic out. Just, you know, zhuzhing everything together. Taking the silvery shade. This is with their number 12 brush on the inner part of the lid. Pulling it over the brownie silver. That's a very nice gradient. And I definitely picked up too much. I mean, these metallics go a long way. You could just slide them and they just keep going. You know what I'm saying? Taking this champagne-y shade with my Refer 3 inner lower lash line. I love this shade. This is a very unique shade. I think it's so pretty. It's silvery, but again, it has that like cool brown tint to it. Taking some of the taupey brown, something like that, just tapping it on the outer part here. You don't have to do this. I'm just kind of curious as to how it will look. Most of these shades you could wear by themselves in terms of the metallics. That eye is done. Let's go on to this eye. Pecan brown, I remember that one. Actually, no. Taking the cool taupe, outer and inner part of the eye, just tapping that, creating brackets here. I wanna place something in the center. Same shade now with my 15 across the crease. Pull those together. That's pretty on its own, actually. I like that on its own for a very, like, subdued eye. Taking this silver, tapping it right on the center over the taupe matte. Taking that Refer 21, carving a little bit more here so it could appear more precise. Taking the taupe matte again over those edges and going back in. So it's a back and forth type of a gig, just so you could get your desired blend effect. Pecan brown on the lower lash line, why not? Combining here to the top. Now beware, if you do apply your metallic with a blender brush, you might get fallout just because it's not going to pick up the same way it will a matte. But just do your eyes first, or have a little bit of powder underneath. But that brushed away without any major casualties. The light rosy color. Inner part of the eye with the pecan brown, and the last metallic here on the inner corner. And here's the finished look with my Ardell Naked Lashes in 421. Here's the first eye with that cool brown gray. Oh god, what is happening? Stay. And here's the taupe matte with the silvery shade. Both eyes up close. And here's a wide shot of both looks. On the lips, I have the Lisa Eldridge True Velvet Matte Lip Color in Velvet Fawn, lined with the Pat McGrath Permagel Ultra Liner in Structure. I actually like this palette more than I expected, because I gravitated and just love the bronze palette so much that seeing these shades initially, I was like, I don't know. This shade here, the silver brown, I love it. And with the beige lip, I'm looking very like classique. And I was watching It's Lori's live. Hi Lori. She described this palette best is your little black dress palette, or your little black dress with tuxedo palette, or your tuxedo palette. However you like to wear your glam outfits, that's the palette. It's grown and sexy, you know what I'm saying? It's just very wow. Let's get into two more looks. I'll take this off and I'll see you in a bit. Cool brown in this crease. I could use another shade to blend it out, but it's okay. Just for kicks, I'll use this mushroom shade and see what that does with the cooler brown. So definitely it softens the edges, but it makes it more gray. So you want to keep it more brown, that I would keep that matte by itself. But if you use the mushroom taupe, it's going to definitely gray it out. Pecan brown. Now all over the lid. Tapping and swirling here with this gold shade. Now on the inner part of the eye. Nice combination. Taking the warm silver shade on the inner part of this eye. Just pull it across here. Taking the medium brown matte on the outer portions of the lash line to connect what we got going on the top. Switch to a smaller brush to be more precise with that blend. Taking the pecan brown metallic over the matte just so it could look a little more together. Just taking whatever dropped away, buffing the edges a little more. The lighter champagne shade over the gold one to give a little more brightness. Taking the last metallic on the brow bone because I just want to take this blend down a little bit. Yes, I like. Now I want to go super light. Let's see. I'm going to try, I'm going to do the rosy shade all over the lid, but I'm taking my finger and just placing that I just love how these go on with the finger application. They just melt. And for this eye, you know, I'm on purpose will just use the metallic shades because you don't necessarily have to use a matte with the metallics. They're there for you to blend and, you know, at your disposal. Taking the warm silver, outer corner, tapping that on the rosy color. I'm gonna, whoop, finger. I'm gonna use the silver to just blend in the crease. So yeah, they kind of mix together, but it's okay. Using my shader brush to just nudge that silver shade on the outer V. I like how that's combining. I mean, you don't have to go this route. I'm just kind of playing around. Taking the cool dark brown matte with my number 3 rougher along the lash line here. Just want to see if I could create like a bit of some intensity on the lash line on the outer third as well here. I'm just placing some concealer around here because when I removed the eyeshadow, I didn't do a very good job. So I'm just using that to kind of erase any remnants of the first look, just so that I could clean that up a little bit. Doing the pinch, gotta do the pinch. Sound effects help. Let me tell you. All right, fam, I thought why not do some regular mascara. You know, we see something with the lash, we see something with the mascara. Hot girl, dark star. Oh, I just remember we didn't put anything on this in the corner. Oop. Here, I'll put this one. All right, put a little too much. That's okay. All right, here are both eyes. We got the brown pecan and the brown taupe on this eye with a little bit of the gold, but then we went just all metallic with the matte on the lash line for some definition. I like the overlap. I think it's pretty and something you can do if you didn't want to just do typical matte in the crease. You could just metallic all over. And here's a wide shot of both looks. On the lips, I have the Lisa Eldridge True Velvet Lip Color in Velvet Ribbon. This is just... I forgot how beautiful this lipstick is. I love it so much. What do we think, fam? I love this look. This is very like cool brown, but nice smoke instead of having to use like the cooler brown shade. We use that on the lash line here, and I think it added a little bit of volume to the lashes as well, especially if you're just using mascara. 4 looks done, and I really love this with the red lip, and this is, I feel, classic, super glam, very evening, very glamour, and it's color specific. If you're into the cool browns, the silvers, and anything bronze, champagne or gold, but near on the cool side of the spectrum, then you'll love this palette. If you like more of the warms and bronze, sunrise, I feel even Star has some nice like antique golds in there. Metropolis, forget it. You can have a ball with a lot of the orange, red tones in that palette. So if cools are for you, then you will really love this palette. Again, I will put all the creators who are deeper than me down below so you could check out how the palette looks on browner skin. Yes, I know I'm only medium tan, so if you're my complexion and you were wondering about this palette, how the shades will look on you, then hopefully the 8 looks that we created together so far will give you an idea if this is worth your time, or maybe we'll wait for the next one. And that, my friends, is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I'll see you in here again with another review, tutorial, playlist of a Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette, monthly favorites, or nightly live chit chat. Take care, and I will see you again soon.